Hey, how's it going people? Michael here, and thank you for tuning in to Used Gadgets. And in this episode, I'm going to be comparing benchmarks between the 2006 and the 2009 Mac Pro. About a year ago, I thought about upgrading my 2006 Mac Pro to a newer model. Also called the 1,1, I've already upgraded the CPU to the highest supported CPU, which is the quad-core 3 GHz Clovertown CPU. While it continues to be a perfectly capable machine and operating system, more and more application software is dropping support for it. The last OS update that my original Mac Pro received was the 10.7.5 or Mac OS Lion, and it is the highest officially supported OS on the 2006 Mac Pro. At first I was getting notifications every time I fired up Chrome or Safari warning me that my browser is no longer supported, and I was okay with that. But as time went on, I started seeing some strange artifacts. Sometimes controls in YouTube do not function properly anymore. Later it was announced that Box was no longer going to be supported, and then MacMail was no longer able to authenticate against Gmail because MacMail was no longer deemed to be a secure client, and the list is only going to get longer. Besides, I want to take advantage of my new favorite feature on Safari, and that is the ability to stop media from automatically playing on certain websites, like those you can find in reviews.com. For the boot up test, I started the timer from when I hit the power button. You know, I could just hack it, and with a little bit of technical know-how, I could install Mac OS 10.9, and many of these problems would simply go away. Maybe I'll do that in a later video before I sell the machine, but I also wanted a faster and more energy efficient hardware. Because newer Mac Pros can be expensive and I'm on a budget, I had to save up for much longer while waiting for prices to drop. And yesterday that day finally arrived, and I found a good deal on a 2009 Mac Pro, and I pulled the trigger. Here is my new to me 2009 Mac Pro. It has the same number of ports, the same fan size, and from the outside it looks very similar to the 2006 Mac Pro. But that is where the similarities end. They both have quad-core processors for a total of 8 and 16 gigabytes of RAM. While the 2009 is packing the 45 nanometer Nehalem cores, the 2006 has the older Clovertown 65 nanometer core fabrication. The 2009 has 2 megabytes and 8 megabytes of L2 and L3 cache respectively, while the 2006 has 2 megabytes less at 8 megabytes of L2 and no L3 cache. For the disk speed test, I noticed that on the 2006, the disk write results got worse with each subsequent test. I'm not sure if that was a bug or what. RAM data rate on the 2009 is 1066 megahertz, while it is 60% slower on the 2006 at 667 megahertz. The 2009 has a removable daughter board which slides out if you need to service the RAM and the CPU. And by the way, I'll be upgrading these to the fastest supported CPU in a future video. For the handbrake test, I rendered a video using the highest quality with surround sound. There are some minor changes as well. The 2009 comes with a Bluetooth module, and the video card slot has a slightly better locking mechanism. I also noticed that the hard drive caddies are slightly different, that if I use the ones on the 2006, the hard drive will not seat properly. For this basic test, both machines will be running the highest common supported operating system, which is Mac OS Lion. I will use the same boot device, in this case an SSD drive, the same video card, which is an NVIDIA GeForce GT120, and nothing else attached except for a mouse and a keyboard. It is also worth noting that the 2006 Mac Pro, which is originally a 1,1, was flashed to become a 2,1 to support the faster processors, and therefore it is more like a 2007 Mac Pro. The 2009 Mac Pro which is originally a 4,1, was flashed to become a 5,1 in preparation for a future hardware upgrade. However, it is still using the 2.26 GHz Nehalem cores of the 4,1. For the Geekbench test, I had the free version, so I only did a 32-bit benchmark. This episode was produced using the 2009 Mac Pro, and the improvement in performance was worth it to me. And I know it's 2017, but I'm sure there are still many of you out there considering upgrading to this model. At this point in time, I think the 2009 is at the sweet spot in terms of pricing and performance. Remember, this used to cost $3,300 US. I picked this one up for 1/10 of that, and guess what? It still performs at near 100% as the day it was released. And here's the kicker. The 2009 model can be upgraded to the 12-core Xeon 3.46 GHz and up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. This would make it even faster than the custom top-of-the-line 2012 Mac Pro. That used to cost $6,200 US. You cannot do that with a 2008 or earlier Mac Pro. As an aside, something interesting happened during testing. The NVIDIA GeForce GT120 that came with the 4,1 actually worked on the 1,1 Mac Pro. However, after the tests were complete, the display kept shutting off randomly, and the only way for it to come back on was after a full shutdown. After a few of these, the display wouldn't even come on at all. I didn't know until later that this video card was not even supported on the original Mac Pro. I guess I got lucky during the tests. For the temperature test, I made sure both cases were at the same distance from the wall, and I took the temperature reading of the wall immediately after the Geekbench 3 test. Anyway, there you have it, people. My 2006 Mac Pro versus 2009 Mac Pro performance test. I'm not going to take all the credit for the information that I've given you, so I'm going to give credit where it's due. I'm going to post the links to my sources in the description. There might still be some people waiting it out to get their hands on a 2009 Mac Pro. But if you're one of those people who already pulled the trigger, please let us know in the comments section if it was worth it to you. Listen guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button, or better yet, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. As always, thanks for watching.